Our house has been on the market for 18 days now, and so far there has been nothing. People are clicking on the link, people are looking at the photos, but nothing. Our real estate agent said, don't worry, it'll come. We just came out of March break. It's the Easter holidays. It's still early in the season. And one thing that's very important is that the market isn't as crazy as it was during COVID. You had people overbidding by hundreds of thousands of dollars, at least here in the greater Ottawa area. One of the houses over there, by the way, just one like 2-3 houses down, that sold for $690,000 during COVID, which is insane. It is much smaller than our house, and I don't think it's as nice. Our house right now is listed at $650. That's a bargain. It's a bargain, people. I think we have a very nice house. Is this in the newest neighborhood? No. Is it a new house? No. But there are advantages to older houses, and this is what I'm going to try to do today. I know that you shouldn't be doing this. It's supposed to be impersonal when you sell a house. People are supposed to have to be able to like see themselves in that house, but I don't care. I'm going to show you what's great about this place. The renovations that went into this house made it what it is now. And this kitchen is definitely the highlight of our house, but not only because it's all custom cabinets. It was designed. I designed it in order for it to be as functional as possible as a kitchen. Yeah, if you like cooking, this is a great kitchen. One thing that is less obvious about this kitchen is this spot right here. I could see the entire first floor. So this is the spot. And from here, you can see the dining room and all the way into living room. Hello, Nat. Hello. And you have a bunch of people over there and a bunch of people over here and people over there, and you can interact with all of them at the same time. One of the things that we worked a lot on is the yard. Now, the first TV show I ever made was all about self-sufficiency. It was all about growing food, about healthy food, about organic food, all that stuff, okay? So I'm a big proponent of growing your own food, of, gardening and everything. So one of the things we did in our yard was to build a food forest. If you don't know what a food forest is, it's not complicated. It's basically just all of your space is producing food. This is what you have in the front yard for a food forest. This is a Montmorency cherry tree. They're like these almost translucent little sour cherries. The robins really love them, so I haven't had the opportunity to eat many of them. This, for my friends from the prairies, is a Saskatoon berry bush. It's supposed to be like 10 feet high. This is a gooseberry bush, and all along here you have rhubarb that was given to me by my former neighbors that lived here, and the rhubarb was like some ancestral variety that belonged to Madame's aunt or grandmother or something. That's rhubarb. It's great. Comes up in the spring. You can make like pie and stuff right in your yard. What other house has that? These bushes here are elderberries or elderflowers if you want the flowers. They're very fragrant, and the little berries are pretty good. You can make cordials. If you're British, you know what I'm talking about. This can grow like 10 feet tall, so I keep it trimmed so that it's nice and clean, and it'll come up in the spring, and this will all be nice foliage, and then you'll get nice flowers, and then you'll get nice berries. Why, yes, it is nice stonework. I put down every one of these stones myself, but we're talking about food right now, and these are raspberry bushes. I started with 3 plants over there, and now it's covered all of that. So all of this area, instead of being lawn you gotta mow, it produces bowls and bowls of raspberries that taste like Swedish berries, but healthy, without all the refined sugar and stuff. Now here, as you can see, we are making maple syrup. This is a sugar maple tree. Every spring, I make maple syrup. It is nice. It is a fun activity to do with the children. Another thing that you can see here is a tree house. Not any kind of tree house. So when you're sitting there
it offers my neighbors privacy and it offers us privacy. And that's why it's like a wall there, so that they could be on their deck and we could be on our terrace, and everybody feels like they're not in each other's space. Let's now cut to a new neighborhood where everybody is packed in with one another, and you don't really want to be in your yard because there's people all around all the time. So look at how packed everybody is here. Oh, and what do you have behind your house? More house. Oh, look, we're all packed in on one another. How beautiful. Look at this house, 536 Ruby. Oh, that's for sale. Look at the tiny garage. And look behind. Yes, right? More house behind your house. But wait, there's more. Now this house has a bigger garage, but the house is still pretty small. And in the back, again, yeah, does that seem like an appealing place to go and spend an afternoon with your loved ones? Now, I don't want to keep being negative, and there are obviously probably, I don't know, there is an appeal to these new cookie cutter houses that are all packed into one another. But just value for money. For me, I would rather have a house that is a bit older, that has some character, that has space, that is bigger on the inside, that is bigger on the outside, for the same price. The last element of our food forest here, our food production stuff, is our garden. By any standards, urban standards, is pretty big. It is 9 meters by 10 meters, if I remember correctly. And here we have some permanent raised beds, which means that I've never grown anything here, always there, and I never turned over the earth. They're so confused. We started with some very clayey soil, very heavy soil that was impossible to work with. And now you have, like, I could stick my hand in up to my elbow and it is nice, loose, rich soil. We produce all of our tomatoes for the year in this small space. There are perennial herbs. So come summer, I've got cilantro and parsley and thyme and all that all here. And so if you like gardening, you've already got a very, very well-established garden to work with. And if you don't like gardening, maybe you should, because your phone is not adding to your quality of life. But gardens, if you have children, or if you're a person who likes to have fun, a pool is a very useful thing. The other great thing about our pool and our backyard in general is that on the other side there in summer, that's all leaves. So people on the street over there and people in the house over there, they can't really see you bathing. So go in the nude if you want, or don't. I mean, just swim. Like, you don't have to be weird about it. This is our place from across the street. So as you can tell, in the summer, all of that is foliage. And foliage is privacy. Foliage is privacy. Okay? Beyond our yard, we have this little ravine. So this is our backyard. We don't have people in our backyard. We have water. There's no mosquitoes here because it's still flowing water. And I saw right over there, I saw a heron fishing once, and I found out how herons kill the fish they eat. So there's all sorts of wildlife here. There's a family of ducks that live in here every summer. There are turtles, and over there, you could get to the river from over there. You can't see my finger at all, can you? Oh, boom, boom, there. Yeah, you could get to the river, which is just over yonder. This is a little oasis. Even now, we sit out here, even if it's a bit chilly, fire up the barbecue and have supper here on our terrace. It is huge. The kids can then go into the pool. We can garden. There's nobody watching us on the other side of the street. We are private from our neighbors. And by the way, our neighbors almost never come outside. So we've got the outdoors to ourselves. This yard, I will miss this yard. We will probably never have a yard as nice as this. And it produces a bunch of food. So like, what's not to love? And it could all be yours. Or you can go and cram yourself in with a bunch of people in vinyl boxes. Look at that over there. See how everybody's packed in on one another? There's not a mature tree in sight. Can somebody explain to me what is so appealing about that? One of the things that this neighborhood has that my house also has are the amenities of the small town that I am in outside of Ottawa. We have the same library. We have the same YMCA and pool where your kids can go or you could go work out, or your kids could go and have, classes of stuff. Another advantage of a small town is that everything is closed. The grocery stores are closed, the liquor store is closed, the beer store is closed, everything. You can walk anywhere. And that's kind of nice, you know? I did a drone video last summer in Rockland, so I'll just show you a few shots.
Another thing that's great about our house that you might not have ever thought about if you don't do photography or video or something like that is light. Light is very important. In this house, we have a lot of white surfaces. The floors are very pale, and this is very nice. The light in our house is very, very nice because that's south. We have a lot of south-facing windows, and it's always nice and airy and never gloomy, and we're not stuck on other houses that are blocking our light. The light. Buy a house for the light. I could go around the whole house showing you every advantage of this place. You could go see the video that our realtor had made. To me, this is a perfect family home. And for the price, if you compare it, yeah, you're gonna get a new house with new vinyl and everything, but is it livable? We actually care about our house. Can you say the same thing about a new house where people have only been there for 2 years and they bought it new and they didn't really do anything with it other than maybe put some sod? So if you're all about the facade and you really, really only want a new house, you could do whatever you want. You are an adult and you qualified for a mortgage, so, you do you. But I think it's worth looking beyond the facade of a house and looking beyond the age of a house and looking at the things that actually matter. The things about a house that will improve your quality of life. If that means it still has that new car smell and that's important to you, okay. But for me, it's about much more than that. My wife just said that I make everything sound like I'm desperate. I'm not desperate. I just think that this house is worth buying. It's not desperation, Matt. It's not desperation. And I'm not even trying to sell. It's just, it's a comment on what we look for when we look for a house. You want a place that is comfortable and that has many advantages, not just, oh, look, it looks pretty from the outside. Because guess what? Once you're in your house, nobody cares about the facade.